Good day, class. In the previous videos, we have introduced the axons and chi theory in both the philosophical and the Chinese medicine field, as well as the application of this theory. From this video, we are going to study another theory, the Yin and Yang theory. The Yin and Yang theory is one of the most popular and well-known theory in Chinese medicine. Similar to the axons and qi theory, the Yin and Yang theory was not developed from Chinese medicine, which means this theory was not developed specifically for Chinese medicine. It was developed in the philosophical field. The ancient philosophers first used this theory to explain the environment, the nature, the changes, especially the changes of the phenomenon. For example, a few days ago, we experienced the summer solstice. We have summer solstice. We have winter solstice. What's the difference between the day before summer solstice and after the summer solstice? Is there any changes? We don't really feel because it is summer in South America. The weather is hot, but why we have summer solstice? What has changed on this day? What has changed? It's from the whole year. When we see the year from this point of view, we also can see from the day, 24 hours during the day and night, 12 o'clock at noon and 12 o'clock in the evening. What has changed at 12 o'clock? So all these questions can be explained by Yin and Yang theory. The Yin and Yang theory focuses on the interactions of some related objects. The changes, the interactions, the accumulations of these changes, what will happen after the accumulation. So all these are from the Yin and Yang theory can explain all these changes. Firstly, let's talk about Yin and Yang. What's Yin and Yang? Yin and Yang are two different terms that in philosophical field used to describe two opposite attributes of some interrelated objects or phenomena in nature. So from the definition, you will see Yin and Yang represents the laws of some interrelated objects. These two objects must be interrelated. We have some examples in the next slides. You will see what do I mean by interrelated. Opposites. So we're going to describe two opposite parts, black or white, dark or bright, hot or cold. So all these are opposites. We're not only going to focus on the property of the attributes. We're going to focus on the meaning, the laws, the movements, the relationship between Yin and Yang. According to Yin and Yang theory, the world is the material whole, and the world itself is the result of unity of the opposites between Yin and Yang. The interaction of Yin and Yang promotes the occurrence of objects and the development and transformation of objects. When you see these statements, you may be confused. But when we study the axons and qi theory, we says the axons and qi, the essence or qi. So especially in the philosophical field, these two terms are the same. So qi, or the essence, is the origin of all systems, is the origin of the universe. Qi is the agent of the transformation and the movement of everything. However, when you see these statements, it seems that yin and yang, the universe, the world, is the result of the unity between yin and yang. Previously, we said the axons is the origin of the universe. So what's the relationship between the axons and yin and yang? So that's the question you need to think about. The second is, we said that the qi is the agent of the movements and the transformation of everything. But here we says the interaction of yin and yang promotes the occurrence of objects, the development or the movements, transformation of objects. So when you see these two statements, you need to think about what's the relationship. What's the relationship of the yin and yang movements, or the development and transformation? The development and transformation from yin and yang, and the development and transformation from the qi. What's the relationship? As we know that no matter what we talk about the world, we talk about the universe. There's only one world, one universe. There's only one Earth. As a human being, when we talk about specific human, specific person, individuals, there's only one. So how can you describe, how can you explain from axons or qi? Why you got different tones for essence and yin and yang? Below is the image, that is the common image you can see to represent yin and yang. Yin and yang, as we said, black and white, and they share the whole. So the volume equally the same. However, why in the yin yang image, or we call it yin yang fish, because this part, when you see half of them, looks like a fish. That's the head and eyes, the tail. The yin and yang fish. Why the yin and yang fish? The line in between is like S shape. Why it's not straight? No matter how you draw, they share equally the same. That's the size. In terms of the size or the volume, they are the same. But why is it an S shape? It's not straight. The reason is because the S shape is not we draw. It's the law from the nature. In the next slide, we're going to introduce how to draw this line. When you see the straight line, also when you see the straight line, you will see the two parts, they separate. They're not interrelated. When you see the S shape, especially the black spots in the white parts, the white spots in the black parts can represent the relationship between yin and yang. That's why we always use this image to represent yin and yang, because all the laws or the characteristics of yin and yang theory can be explained from this image. When you see a straight line between black and white, you see there's no interaction. If there's no interaction, everything stop. There's no movement, no development, no transformation. So all what we talk about the yin and yang theory, how we learn, how we apply to promote our health, we need to learn about the laws of yin and yang movement. As you can see here, we got another yin and yang fish. This yin yang fish looks slightly different from the previous one, especially the S shape. This S shape is slightly different. How do we draw the S shape? And why this one is different? This one represents the true yin and yang movements, the true movements between the earth and the sun. The other one in the previous slides, we just make it look better. How to draw this S shape? You put a pole on the floor every day at 12 o'clock or other time. At the same time, you draw a spot. You mark a spot on the floor. Every day you mark one spot at 12 o'clock. And then for the whole year, when you line them up, it becomes like this shape. So this is one of the application of Yin and Yang theory to explain the movements of the sun and the earth. Yin and Yang theory can be widely used in everything. Everything refers to the different fields, in medical fields, in the society, in the philosophy, in agriculture, and in astronomy. Because we do not focus on the Yin and Yang theory, especially its application in different fields. We focus on the Yin and Yang theory, the application in medical field, specifically in human health. So we're not going to introduce a lot about Yin and Yang. We just give you a brief background of Yin and Yang. We're going to focus on the laws of Yin and Yang. What are the relationship between Yin and Yang? Initially, Yin and Yang represents the position. Yin and Yang. Yang represents in the southern part of the mountain or northern part of the lake or the water. What does it mean by southern part of the mountain and northern part of the water? So you can just imagine this image. When you see this image, the southern parts, that's the southern part of the mountain. The northern part of the mountain is on the other side. So you can see from here, this part is the northern part of the mountain, of the other mountain. Okay. The southern part of the mountain and the northern part of the water. Here is the northern part of the water. So when we say the northern part of the water, that's here, the northern part. And the southern part of the water is here. So here we have to remember a few terms, a few positions. The northern part of the water and the southern part of the mountain, these two are actually the same area. Because when the lake, if the lake and the mountain connect to each other, the northern part of the lake is the southern part of the mountain. So Yang initially refers to the southern part of the mountain, the northern part of the water, that's this area. Yin represents the northern part of the mountain and the southern part of the water. So it represents this part. When you see this picture, what can you see? What's the difference between these two parts? The southern part of the mountain, northern part of water, and the northern part of the mountain, the southern part of water. What's the difference? One of the difference as you can see in the image, this part is brighter, this part is darker. Why we have this kinds of laws or characteristics from this image? That's because we try to represent this image from the north of the earth. Because the Yin and Yang theory was developed from China in the north of the earth. So now we can just imagine this image. If this image happens You put this image in this area. The sun is here. So when the sun here, when the sun shines to here, to the earth, the southern part of the mountain always enjoys more sun. That's why brighter. The northern part always share more shade. That's why the houses in the north they will face south because they want to enjoy more sun. The northern part they will face south. That's opposite to us. We are in the south. Our property will face north. When our property is facing north, we will enjoy more sun. When we enjoy the sun, we have more light, so brighter. When you sit under the sun, you feel hot. So it's hotter, warmer. So that's how we use yin and yang, how we think about yin and yang. A few years ago, when I delivered one speech in the conference, in acupuncture conference, I talk about the original thoughts, the original application of these theories. For example, at that time I presented one case with stroke, and then the patient could not speak. So the patient got the speech disorder. The lady could not speak, and then at that time I said, let's think about what we need to, in order to speak properly, what do we need? Not from the medical science, but just from the common knowledge that we can see. Firstly, when we speak, now you can just imagine if you stop moving your tongue, can you speak? So if you're not sure, you can try. When you speak, keep your tongue at the same position. Can you speak? So if you have tried, you will realize that you could not speak without tongue movement, or you could not speak properly without the tongue movement. So when a patient suffers from stroke, after stroke, she got speech disorder. Although in the medical field, in the medical science, especially from conventional medicine, we agree that that's the damage of the brain and the damage of the brain function that limits the ability to speak. So your treatments should focus on recovering the brain function. It's specifically for the area to which area contribute to the movement of the speech. However, when we treat patients, what do I see? I see this patient is post-stroke. This patient have speech disorder. However, what I realized, her tongue couldn't move. Her tongue is stiff. When I asked her to put her tongue out, stiff, is not flexible. So during the acupuncture treatments, I focus on the tongue. In future, we will share this case. I put 3 needles under the jaw, and then after a few days, the patient start to speak again. So from this case, what I want to say is during our treatments or when we use these theories, try to think from what you see. Don't think too much on the so-called science, because these theory developed 3,000 years ago. At that time, the people at that time, they see what they see. They think from what they see. We see the southern part of the mountain is brighter, and when you stand here, you feel hotter. So we put everything together. The bright, or more light, warm or hot. And the tree will grow better. the better development, or everything that will happen in the southern part of the mountain. So these all yang. The trees stem live here, grows here, will not grow as better as the other sides because they don't have enough the sunlight. So the less development will be yin compared with the better development. So that's how we think about yin and yang. Yang stands for dynamic, positive, energetic aspect of the system. Yin stands for the inwards, negative, static aspects. So when you compare with these two images, active, positive, energetic, yang, negative, static, inwards, depression, yin. From the knowledge that we have introduced, we're going to identify these a few items. This indicates the yin and yang of the following items. Firstly, water and fire. Which one is yin, which one is yang? Water is yin, fire is yang. Because the fire is warmer, water is cold compared with the fire. Okay. Day and night. Day is yang, night is yin. Because day is light, it's brighter, night is darker. Also during the day it's warmer and night is cooler. Bright and dark. Bright is yang, as we introduced. That's in the you can see from the nature. Dry and humid. Dry is yang, humid is yin. Humid related to the water. Happy and sad. Happy is yang, sad is yin. Because happy is more positive. Male and female. In terms of human, male is yang, female is yin. From this point of view, you also can see from some body build. In general, male's body build is stronger than female. So the stronger is yang, the weaker is yin. That's why male is yang, female is yin. Warm and cold. Warmer, yang, colder, yin. So as you can see, all these pairs, they have some connections. Whenever we talk about yin and yang, we talk in pairs. If you ask me day, is day considered as yin or yang? I would say I don't know, because this is not a proper question. Yin and yang represents the opposite attributes of some interrelated items. Interrelated objects, they must be interrelated. They must have some connection when you talk these two. In some field, there must be some connection. Warm and cold in terms of temperature, male and female in terms of gender, bright and dark in terms of light. So here's another question. When we think about dog and chicken, which one is yin, which one is yang? So this is a wrong question. When you cannot compare with dogs and chicken, because these are not interrelated. Same as here, when it says water and night, which one is yin, which one is yang? There's no answer for this question, because water and night are not interrelated. Humid and water, which yin, which yang, which is yin, which is yang. So very importantly, when we talk about yin and yang, there must be two objects. These two objects must be interrelated. You must find something in common between these two objects. So that's the law of yin and yang. That's also why during the treatment, when we think about yin and yang, when we set the balancing of yin and yang, we should not think about one part of yin or yang. You always need to think about two, because these two are always together. According to the Yin and Yang theory, we put everything into two categories, either yin or yang. That's how we understand the environment, the nature. For example, up and down, outside, inside, left and right, south and north, sky and earth, or sky and ground, day and night, spring, autumn, and winter, and spring, summer, and autumn and winter. In terms of the temperature, also in terms of the development of the plants, the growth of the plants, hot and cold, dry, humid, light and heavy, fondness and fond, upwards and downwards, active and static, excited and depressed. This table, you have to remember this table, and the more you think, you will find the laws why we put the whole category as yang. The more you think, you may find more understanding and more knowledge behind why we put these two in two different categories. This is one of the basic contents of Yin and Yang, and from the next video we're going to introduce the characteristics and as well as the laws of Yin and Yang, between Yin and Yang. So we're going to introduce from the next video. What's the relationship between up and down? What's the relationship between spring and autumn? How to use this theory in our human health? Thank you for your attention.